Hi, everybody. I'm Jeffrey Driscoll.
I'm Jim Kerr.
Welcome to 15 Minutes of Fame. Well, Jim, on the festive edition of 15 Minutes of Fame, we're going to start with a couple of Grinches. Where are we as the NHL lockout hits triple digits?
Ridiculous stuff going on here, Jeff. Players voted 706-22 to give the board the authority to dissolve, which we've talked about in the past year, means the decertification process can begin. That means possible antitrust lawsuits filed, and then, of course, the battle to have the lockout declared legal or illegal. And I know the NHL has filed something in a court that in New York that they thought would they lean more to their liking, and the NHLPA did a similar thing. No plan to meet again. I've heard they've spoken on the phone, which I guess is a start. But, I've talked to lots of people that want to talk to on the phone, so it doesn't really mean anything. They could be talking on Wednesday or Thursday, according to some reports. But that's about where we're at. It doesn't sound very good. It really hasn't this whole time, I suppose. So, but bah humbug to both of you.
Yeah, bah humbug indeed. They are a couple of Grinches. I don't know, Jim. It just seems like they're trying to wait for the last possible minute, and then they're going to come to a. I don't know. I said earlier that, and I've said all along that if the Winter Classic was canceled, then that would be the whole season. And I don't know. I may still stand by that, but we're coming up here in the new year is going to be the last possible time they can kind of get rid of games. What do you think? Do you think we've got a shortened season, or do you think that we're canceled?
Well, they've already canceled up to mid-January or something like that, and that to me that if you're in the process and you're hoping for an agreement, why even bother canceling those games? I think we can all assume that, basically for most of us now, it's either there's going to be a shortened season or there's not going to be a season.
Yeah.
So why make a big deal about, we've canceled up to December 30th.
That's right.
Oh, okay, a couple weeks later, now we've canceled up to January 14th. None of us care about that aspect. If you do, just do it in your own books. Why? So even those announcements make me feel like it's all, and I know it's all just a big game, and negotiations are like that. They're, you try and mess with the other side and hope that they'll cave or something like that. But I don't know, a shortened season, we're getting real close to the maximum that we could have for a shortened season. I think they've said that 48 games is the most that they would go for, and we've got to be close anyways to about 50% of the season canceled. So
yeah, no, you're exactly right.
There's not much of a window left.
No.
And at this point, I don't see any reason for optimism. Anytime there's been a moment where it's been like, well, this could be, this could turn into something, it never has, and it's gotten worse. So I don't think we're gonna have a season.
No,
but,
I agree.
And again, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. Not even close.
Well, Jim, the World Juniors are about to get underway from Russia. It's going to be nice to watch some meaningful hockey again, even though it's probably not at the right time. Yeah,
if your life schedule allows for you to be up in the wee hours of the night to watch the puck, it'll be awesome. Mine used to. It doesn't anymore.
Right.
Bad timing. I think Canada has a very strong team, but so does the United States, and I'm sure the superpowers in Russia or in Europe are going to be just as strong. I would assume that Russia's got a solid team. Sweden will be good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good tournament. It's gonna take something special to win this tournament. But here's my problem. I hope TSN is very clear about what's a TSN rewind and what's a TSN present day, because this whole lockout we've been subjected to rewind after rewind.
After rewind.
So, it's going to be tough. But those 2 a.m. starts...
No, absolutely.
I don't know.
It's going to be really tough. I don't know. I'm a big fan of, lockout World Juniors. Lockout World Juniors in the past has been fantastic. This lockout World Juniors looks like it's going to be a big one as well. That being said, the exhibition games so far for Canada haven't been all that great.
Yeah, they looked a little... Well, they look like a team that was trying to find its stride, and hopefully that's what they did.
That's right.
What's funny about the Lockout World Juniors is we don't know how good it was until a few years later.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's on the TSN Rewind. We're like, wow, that was amazing. And just another little story is one of my favorites is that all 4 teams, Canada, Sweden, USA, and Finland, I think, are all on the same charter jet to go to Russia, which is hilarious, and that's fantastic as well.
I hope somebody drops the mitts, like a line for the bathroom or something like that.
Can you believe that? Okay, we're going to talk a little baseball now. The Blue Jays just look like they keep getting better and better, Jim.
Oh, my goodness. If you weren't impressed or encouraged by the acquisitions of, the likes of Jose Reyes, Mark Burley, Josh Johnson, and, of course, Melky Cabrera, this should get the blood flowing a little bit. The Blue Jays traded away for Mets knuckleballer R.A. Dickey this week. The NL Cy Young winner came at a cost. They had to give up one of their most highly touted prospects, but it also turns the Jays blue pen
because it's the Blue Jays.
That was on purpose.
That was totally on purpose. Now we're going to call it a blue pen.
That's a blooper, I think.
Oh, there it is.
But it changes their pitching rotation.
Nice.
Into just an absolute beast.
Yeah.
And you think of the guys they have currently anyways. Like a guy like Ricky Romero could absolutely thrive under that rotation. And if you're not entirely sure what knuckleballer means, which
some of us aren't.
Yeah, some of us aren't. I'd be among those. It's a type of pitch, I guess.
Right.
I would suggest you look it up on YouTube or something like that. I saw someone had a slowed down GIF image of it. It's insane. The ball goes like, how? I don't know, but fantastic stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and it's kind of funny. You see the catcher kind of going like,
he doesn't know where it's going to be.
But that's a big, that's a big step for the Blue Jays. They're really pulling on the big boy pants, and I think you can't fault them for going out and making a splash, because I don't know if they've ever made a splash like that. And even if you want to talk about Canadian teams in general, making a major moves like that. So that'll be fun to watch.
Absolutely. They are mortgaging a little bit of their future for the now. Hopefully they can win like this. But I mean, I've seen the Yankees do that year after year after year.
Yeah.
It seems to be working out pretty well for them.
And how tiring does it get hearing that they're not mortgaging their future for now?
Exactly.
When they suck every year.
Exactly.
That's the thing. You got to just and I've heard a lot of analysts say this, and I completely agree. This is the time to try and take the American League East.
Yes, yeah.
The Yankees are maybe in flux a little bit. The Red Sox they're going through a terrible patch, and the Orioles are a similar team, and they're a team that's just kind of come up. The Rays peaked a little bit and are maybe now sort of in the middle. So this could be the year coming up where the Jays, Orioles, and Rays are fighting for the AL East. And I can remember, years and years and years of saying, well, it's New York and Boston.
That's it.
Why even, it's not like you don't even feel like your team's got a chance. But now, things are changing, and that's good.
Absolutely. Well, finally, for the rundown in the NFL, some controversy in New York, as usual. And another single-season record falls, Jim.
Yeah, the New York Jets, just a glutton for punishment. They love to be in the spotlight for the wrong reasons. Yeah. After a disastrous end to a loss against the Titans, where the Titans muffed a punt and gave the Jets fantastic field position with like less than a minute to go, and Mark Sanchez fumbled the snap, and that was the game over. It
was ugly.
It was just a comedy of something that wasn't very funny. The team announced that Mark Sanchez would not start at quarterback the next game, which was this weekend, also a loss. But they also mentioned that Tim Tebow would not be the starter. So they went to the third stringer, and apparently there was word that Tebow said, "Well, don't use me in any wild card." What is wrong?
It's okay. It's okay.
The Christmas spirits got me all excited.
Exactly.
Don't use me in any wildcat formations. Not interested. So, the mild-mannered Tim Tebow maybe a little upset. Mark Sanchez demoted to
whatever. Who knows?
Yeah, whatever he was. So there's talk that maybe they trade him in the offseason. There's talk that Tim Tebow is going to demand a trade and will, in all likelihood, end up in Jacksonville. And he's a Florida guy.
Yeah.
As for Detroit's Calvin Johnson, he became the first player ever with 100 receiving yards in 8 straight games, 10 catches in 4 straight games, but most importantly, and as a result of those 2 previous stats,
Yes.
he had the 225 yards in a loss to Atlanta, which put him at 1,892 for the year, beating Jerry Rice's record, which stood since 1995.
Calvin
I've heard a lot
Johnson
of people
was
say,
amazing.
he's just
It was
off the charts.
unbelievable.
I've heard a lot of people say, oh, well, Jerry Rice's is more impressive because he had his team was better, or they had a better record. But like, you're mixing individual stats with.
But even that, like putting up 225 in a loss, Jim, that's amazing.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's a stat that's out of this world.
And you got to remember too, and what's even more impressive about this stuff is it's not like the same coverage game in, game out.
No.
He's double teamed. They're putting everything on him, but he's just one of these athletes that
Go right
can
through it.
rise above the rest and pull it down with his pinky finger. And
totally.
To watch the guy is just, you think, how can I not do any of that stuff? Am I less of a human than this guy?
And the answer is yes. You are less of a human.
It's a resounding yes.
That is the answer. Hey, listen, real quick. What about this ridiculous and never going to happen but hilarious rumor that Tim Tebow is going to come to the CFL? Seriously, Jim.
Yeah, people are. I mean, I guess it's possible, but I don't know why. Sure. I would say until you've exhausted every option in the NFL, it's not going to happen. And even if it does, I mean, I don't know. I think some people act like a player can come in to the CFL from the NFL and just automatically dominate. Well, it's not like that, and it's not a. It's a team's. Maybe an NFL team could come down to the CFL and dominate. That's true. But one player, like we saw with Ricky Williams,
that's
like
right.
he was really okay. Dominate. But it's the same game. Yeah. Like it's still good players. It's not like you come down to the CFL and you're playing me and Jeff.
That's right. That's right.
Which you probably lose.
Yeah,
to be
that's
fair.
right. Because we're
Jeff's got an arm.
I got an arm. That's right. And Jim can run. Boy, that guy can run.
I can run.
That's right.
Just
go
on the end of the field.
That's all I have to do is just throw 100-yard catches. That's
right, man.
Let's move on to the GABBYs now. The Christmas GABBYs, the good and bad by you, and we're going to give a good right off the bat to Santa Claus. Little shout out to Santa Claus here, who we are going to assume came through in the clutch this year for all of our local viewers, despite global warming, the rising cost of reindeer food, his quite obvious obesity problem, and the obvious logistical issues that he likely has to deal with every year. Good job, buddy. See you on our respective birthdays. That's how it works, right?
Well, he comes for Jesus' birthday. And I get presents on my birthday. So logically, that's what happens.
Right. If 1 + 1 = 2, that's what that means.
I think, it's not like he's making a trip all the way out on my birthday.
Right.
He sends the presents.
He does send the presents.
Right? Like that's I don't know.
No, that's totally how it works.
And if I'm wrong, then I'm not. That's for sure. That's for sure how it works.
Exactly.
Let's give a good this week to Houston Texans running back Arian Foster. After securing his 3rd straight 1,000-yard rushing season, he hooked his offensive lineup with segways for Christmas. Quarterback Matt Schaub says he hopes they're careful, which is a hilarious thing to say. Like, okay, thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
It's a common gesture, actually, though. Reggie Bush did it last year. Now, there's a couple things that I'd like to point out.
Okay.
The word segue in like grammar or whatever.
It's not spelled the same way.
It's spelled segue.
Segue.
But the Segway that you ride is actually spelled the way it's supposed to. Okay, second thing.
Yeah.
Picture a bunch of offensive linemen riding Segways and try not to laugh. Like if you're ever at a funeral or in church, don't think about that.
That's right.
Because there's no way out.
Exactly.
But I love that Matt Schaub is worried that they'll like fall or something and hurt themselves.
Mind you, Jim, for the amount of stupid athlete injuries that we report on in this show right now, I'm just saying, I agree.
It's a wonder we haven't had a Segway, like a 12 Segway pileup or something.
A 12 Segway pileup with offensive linemen. Speaking of Segway, how about a good to the UK Sunday Times? They're suing Lance Armstrong for about $1.6 million, according to reports. But rather than us chastising them for kicking a guy while he's down, something that we do quite often, we're going to give them a thumbs up because he successfully sued them years ago over publishing claims that he took PEDs. And we all know how that turned out. I like this.
Yeah, the shoe's on the other foot now, Lance.
Exactly.
Every time I hear a story about him getting something taken away, or like that dumb honorary degree of
doctorate, yeah,
something I'd never heard of. Yeah, it's like, okay, man, like, just, you don't have to, like, get all loud about the fact that you're taking it away. No one cares.
Yeah, exactly.
But this, like,
this is
he
good.
won money from them.
Yeah.
On the premise that he didn't take performance-enhancing drugs. Now well, I guess it's still not 100% proven, but everything he's ever won's been taken from him. Exactly. So I kind of like that they're like, wait a second.
Wait a minute.
Oh, it's on.
Exactly.
I like that. Let's start out the bads this week with a bad to the fans of soccer club Zenit St. Petersburg in Russia. They sent out a thing this week saying the following: "We are not racists." Now, just a little side note for me, a little pop-up video.
That's right.
You remember that show?
I do.
Anytime the statement starts that way,
anytime,
buckle up.
That's right.
All right. We are not racists, but
yes, but exactly.
I don't even need to say the rest of it. We see the absence of black players at Zenit as an important tradition.
Huh.
Imagine that. So they also include gay players with that. And it's just the supporters group, mind you. It's not the team. But I don't know if the team's really come out and said anything. But either way, unbelievable stuff. Hey, we're not racist, but none of you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, brutal. Absolutely brutal. Important tradition? Come on now.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many cliches that you can use. You know what is an important tradition? Having, black people sit at the front of the bus. It's an important tradition not having black people at schools. It's an important... Screw off! Anyways.
Yeah. Shut up, racist.
Exactly. I'm not racist, but it means you're racist.
Oh,
that's just the way it works.
Like you should... If you're racist, you should have to wear a T-shirt that says "I'm not racist, but ...
Exactly. Okay, how about a bad to the Spengler Cup? Now, stay with me on this one. It's going to be sweet, and Canada's going to have a stacked roster, couple of Oilers on there. It's great. But for a guy like Oiler Devin Dubnyk, it'll be the first real game action he's been able to take part in since last season. Guy's been looking for a team everywhere, can't get a game. He says he's a bit nervous, but he's actually looking forward to actually getting to do his job. He's been on the Spengler Cup before, played a couple of games there. This is going to be nothing but good for him, but seriously, can't find a game.
Yeah, he's the guy that's been going city to city for practices. Now, Allen Iverson would be rolling in his grave if he was dead.
That's right.
Hearing that, but he's not dead, so he's just rolling.
He's just rolling.
All right, finally a bad to English Premier League side, Aston Villa, who gave up not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, but 8 goals in an 8-0 loss on Sunday against Chelsea. Anytime you lose 8-0, it's tough. But in soccer, that's like 16-0 at least in hockey. And right before Christmas, that's terrible. Imagine what that score would be like in basketball, like 1,000 to 2.
1,000 to 2 is exactly what it would be like. That's actually how the math works out.
Yeah. Well, I'm a mathematician.
That's true.
As a hobby, that's what I do. 1 + 1, 2.
There it is.
See how fast?
There it is. The punchline this week, folks, is an NBA coach who single-handedly paid for Ronald McDonald's Christmas presents this year.
Yeah. Like many NBA teams, the Philadelphia 76ers have a promotion wherein if they score 100 points in a home game, the fans get free Big Macs. Because obesity is not a problem, they're just doing their part. They were up 99-80 this week.
Right. And
Coach Doug Collins decided to just run out the clock. Don't want to take any risks because, someone can throw a 10-pointer. That angered the fans. A bunch of Big Mac salivating people in the stands going, hey, we're 1 point away. So, to his credit, Doug Collins had the PA announcer proclaim that he'd pay for the burgers himself.
Nice.
If you're wondering, and then this factors in everyone going, that would be $80,000.
Amazing. That's a lot of cash.
$80,000 in Big Macs.
This has been a story a couple of times, Jim. It's just hilarious how people want something that is free. I'm putting the free in quotes for anybody listening in the podcast. And,
close quote.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's absolutely insane. It's like, okay, but a Big Mac is, I don't know, $4. You know, like, and they go insane about it. But $80,000, good for him. That's fantastic. Good for him. That's a Merry Christmas right there.
Way to contribute to your country's biggest problem.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
I just love that like a free Big Mac comes along with professional sports.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
Hey, let's go to a game and promote fitness. Also, if we win, you get a Big Mac.
Do you remember a few years back there was a commercial where two guys come in from playing basketball and they chug a couple of Coca-Colas. They chug them and I remember Coke had to come out afterwards and was like, there is water in Coke, all right? So you are going to get water if you do that. I'm like, no, like, I understand, but no, that doesn't make sense. You're not coming in from playing an hour of basketball, about to go out for another hour, chug a couple of Cokes. That's not what's going to happen.
Light up a Marlboro.
Yeah, that's right. There is air in Marlboros.
Yeah, so smooth going down.
Absolutely. Anyway, folks, we're going to close this Christmas episode of 15 Minutes of Fame right now. Listen, anybody who's listening or watching right now, you can get something free here, all right? With the purchase of this podcast / YouTube, you're going to get last week's. You're going to get last week's for free, all right? For free. So you can go and watch all of our amazing stuff from last week, which you didn't get this week for some odd reason, which I'm not going to go into right now.
Yeah, you can literally watch us age a week before your eyes.
That's exactly it. It's absolutely amazing. I do get a little fatter. You'll see it. Anyways, in the meantime, happy holidays to everybody. I'm Santa's 9th reindeer.
And I'm Will Ferrell in Elf.
Have a good Christmas, folks.